Hello and good evening. It is Thursday. It is the 30th of January and it's nearly into February. My goodness, where has this month gone? So let's see who is going to join me this evening. I hope you are all well. I hope, oh, there we are. I hope that everything's nice and reasonably warm or not too cold at the moment. Hello, Judith. Hello, Jill. Although today's been cold and I've been a bit sleepy, so I've had a little nana nap like you do, and I feel a little bit rejuvenated now. But there's always something to do. So, good evening, Tony, and hello, Liz. So, what have you all been up to today? As I say, it's been cool outside, so I haven't really gone out there too much. I have been out. Hello, Vanessa. Hello, Pippa. But, you know, I'm just waiting for these longer days. Oh, hello, Angela, and happy birthday to you. I hope you're enjoying your day today. Hello, Jeeta. Jeeta hopes everyone's well. I hope we are too. Hello, Christine. I just can't wait. And hello, Alison. Can't wait for sunnier weather and lots of vitamin D so that we all feel 100%. I think it's a weather thing and, you know, just don't feel tip-top. Hello, Jill. Oh, there's all the happy birthdays now. And there's Catherine saying happy birthday too. Hello, Sue. Lovely to see you this evening. And good evening, Catherine. So I have, now what are we doing tomorrow? Oh yes, I'm looking forward to tomorrow. Could I post the blender fabrics with numbers again? Blender fabrics. Do you mean the Stoff thatched? Was it no? Oh, why not, you mean? Yes, I will. Tell you what I will do. I will put those pictures in the group. You know, we have a fabric and kits group now as well. I'll pop them in there for you to have a look at and see how, so it's easy for you to choose. Let's have a look. Okay, Jude, I'll do that tomorrow for you. Hello, Elaine. Oh, wow. Happy birthday for tomorrow, Vanessa. Oh, wow, Jeeta, that was quick. Fantastic. Oh, Jill, superb. Jill's been to bingo and won nearly £550. Whoopee-doo. Well done, you. Hello, Paula. So all these things that are going on today, they're all good things, aren't they? Hello, Jack. We won't talk about the news because there's nothing any good on the news anyway. So it's all doom and gloom. And yeah, nasty things are happening everywhere. So we'll carry on with all the nice things that have happened. Hello, Jack. Hello, Sarah. Oh, there's Sandra. Hello, Sandra. And you're welcome, Judith. Hello, Elaine. Hello, Carol. Hello, Lynn, Michelle. Oh, good. Vanessa's parcel arrived. Fantastic. So you should all have those that have ordered, your Clover tube makers. Clover tube makers will be demoed tomorrow evening. So I'm going to be playing a little bit more. I've got to cut a few bits of fabric, but I has got some samples and look forward to using it. And I think you will too. Evening, Susan. I'm reading between the lines here. And Angela for today. I can never see Jack, can't you? Are you friends with Jack then, Jill? That sounds Jack and Jill. If you're friends on Facebook with Jack, you should be able to see her. And I think that's mostly with everybody. Hello, Janet. It's been a beautiful day. Right, you don't live that far from me, and perhaps it's because I haven't been out too much. I know it's been cold, but not too bad, but a little bit. Oh, lovely, Tony. Jolly good, jolly good. So, yeah, we'll see. I think can't wait for spring. Exactly, Rosemary. I can't either. You been having a go at your sorrow today? Another day, and it might be finished. Fantastic. Can't see everyone else, and we aren't friends. Oh, right, but you can see everyone else. Oh, right. Perhaps it's settings. Some people have private settings as well. So I don't know. It might be just, it'll be something that I don't know. Hello, Barbara. Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. Evening, Linda. So I was just thinking, yes, the Clover Tube Maker. And I've been doing, I haven't done a sample, complete sample. Hello, Sue, of what we're making tonight, because it is fairly repetitive and we'd probably be here all evening. So, I've got one. And the other thing is, I'm going to have to start giving things away. Hello, Amanda, because I keep making so many samples that, I don't know what to do with them. And I thought, really, do I need any more of these tubs? Yeah. So also, Jill, you can't wait to see it. It is similar to what we've done before, however, and it was some years ago actually on TV. Hi, Sandra. And hello, Patricia. I love these people that say young Patricia. Some days I feel younger than others. Tony's been clearing her craft room today. Can't believe how many PDFs you have from you. Oh, no. They can't, no, I know they can't. Sell your samples on your site. I suppose I could. I need to go through them all. I have got tubs and tubs and tubs, and I need to have one sample of everything I've done. And I'd like to think that I could find them. So it's a massive job in itself. So it will happen. Good evening, Marion, and good evening, Janet. All of these things, I know I need to do that. And I've got so many things that need to shift about so that I can be in some form of normality. But everything's a big thing. It really is. Hello, Carolyn. And hello, Bev. I hope your parcel arrived too. So everything has gone out now. All those that ordered extra backing fabric or extra stars and geese kits. Oh, jolly good, Virginia. I'm glad I looked into that, because usually I just write what's down there. I could do that, Patricia. Yes, I think that's a really good idea. I could find I've got local charities that I could just take them into. Hello, Carol. So we'll see. There'll be something at some point that I can do. Hello, Beverly. Hello, Chris. It's just a case of shifting around, and then I come across it, and then I'll ooh and ah and think, oh gosh, that was a long time ago. Hello, Jane. Your order's gone out today. Sorry for the delay. Oh, right. Good. Yes. Oh, thank you, Amanda. They were an absolute steal of a price. They really were. But I just needed to get rid. Basically, everything needed to go. And I knew they'd be in better homes than here, sitting in a few boxes, just looking at me and thinking, I'm never going to do anything with them. So, hello, Dorothy. Hello, Jill. Hello, Kathleen. Hello, Janet. Or Carol got your parcel. Fantastic. And Carol, the other Carol, fantastic indeed. Royal Mail is not bad here, and I think because I've started sending the vast majority, parcels are going tracked 48. So it does cost me a little bit more, but it's worth it because they will always have a tracking number, and should they go astray, I should be able to claim, because I have, to this day, I've only ever had lost 3 parcels, and I've never had a penny return for any of them, but I have always replaced. So because they make it such a hassle to actually get one of the items that I posted, this is probably a couple of years ago. I did everything online, all went through, and it took 6 weeks for them to get back to me and say, you filled the wrong, you need to go and fill something else out. So do you know what? I just forgot it because I hadn't got time to go through all of that again. But never mind. Could they be raffle prizes? Absolutely could, couldn't they? Great idea, Michelle. That's also a good idea, Jeeta. I think I could do that, most definitely. And all the quilts I have, but when I've duplicated them, most definitely. Yes, start stalking the postal part. Postman Jane. Evening, Diane. Oh, you're welcome, Amanda. Yes, as you know, I meant to say to Janet, she put the most lovely post in So Trisha Sews saying, how she'd noticed the price of kits were going up on different sewing, platforms or TV, etc. And, you know, absolutely right, prices have gone up. And she was pointing out what fantastic value my kits and fabrics are. And people so agreed. And I suppose, yes, it's absolutely true, because I do make them a little bit lower so they're affordable, because some are... Yes, Barbara. So, yes, the Christmas box voucher, I should start to say that, shouldn't I? So you've got until tomorrow evening, midnight, and then it will finish. But those who bought the Christmas Advent boxes, the Christmas Day one was a voucher with a code for 15% discount on all full-priced items. So, yes, please, please, please use that. So it won't be on treat boxes. Treat boxes, which I just launched last week, were absolutely rock bottom. It's a losing money, basically move the fabric stock, and there's no leeway on those whatsoever, or any sale items as well. So it's on all full price items. Hello, Sue. Hello, Patricia. Now, that's reminded me of another thing. Unfortunately, I still can't post anything to Northern Ireland. I don't post to Europe anyway, but Northern Ireland, I can't. I'm really sad that I can't, because I haven't got the proper things in place, and I can't afford to have those things in place. So until I can find more information, or more information comes through to say that actually this is not included and you'll be absolutely fine sending it, I really can't afford to post something out which may get intercepted in the sorting system on its way over to Northern Ireland, because obviously all parcels go through various sorting offices en route to the destination. And if they do checks, which I don't know, if I haven't got a certain certificate on the front, which I don't know about that either, it could be that they will be confiscated. I will lose my money, because I will obviously refund you for whatever you haven't received. And I'm afraid at present, I just can't afford to do that. So, for those of you that bought the Advent box, if in a future point in time, that it does come that everything is fine for me to do that now, start posting again to Northern Ireland, then I will honour that 15% discount on items that you buy at that point in time. But I am really sorry, but you know, these things, everything's put in our way to make things more difficult for small businesses. I mean, fortunately, I don't have any employees, so I'm not employers' national insurance contributions, because that will hit a lot of people. Oh, right. Okay, you'll find it at some point. I'm sure, Catherine. So, oh, thank you, Barbara. I'm glad you enjoyed. And thank you, Jeeta. And Vanessa said her treat box was lovely too. Yeah, I will bring some more as well, because there's still plenty more to go. So the other thing I must say for So With Trisha members, tomorrow evening will be the giveaway, the fabric bundle giveaway that I do every month. Oh, I can't see Teresa on there, but Jill can, obviously. So every month, on the last day of the month, I give a bundle of all sorts of everything to one lucky person who's a member of the Sew with Trisha group. Oh, there's Teresa. Hello, Teresa. So that will be tomorrow night. But also, as you know, on the last day of the month, all the PDFs for this month, for the month of January, will be removed from the group. So please, please, please go into the files at the top of the page and download them, print them, save them, whatever you need to do, so that you've got everything from this month. So, oh, I know it has come round quickly, Patricia. I know a lot of people who are still working probably found it the biggest, the longest time between paydays, because of Christmas. And I mean, some companies at Christmas pay a little bit earlier than normal, so it makes it that bit longer. And with a 31-day month, yes. So at least it's only a 4-week month next, when we come to Saturday. All we can do is look into it and see what happens. Thank you, Patricia. I know you're a very loyal customer, and I miss not being able to send out to you, but I'm glad you understand, and I'm sure you all will. I mean, there's a fair few in Northern Ireland that like to buy my bits, but as I say, I just can't do it at present. I will keep my eyes peeled. I've seen nothing else of late. Oh, Vanessa, you loved your treat box too. Jolly good, jolly good. There's some more gone out today. Oh, I think the lovely Sue is going to have a few land on her doorstep. Good evening, Karen. Oh, thank you very much. Hope you're well. Hello, Kirsty. You missed your alarm. I think, Kirsty, I think it may have been you. I can't think what the topic was. I was watching a little bit of Sewing Street, not today, yesterday, and I think your comment came up. Can't remember what the comment was, but I thought, I bet that's our Kirsty. Love watching Sewing Street every now and again, or when I've got the time. Catherine likes February and March because you don't have to pay your monthly council tax bill. Ah, mine is every month, so it makes no difference at all. But boy, it would be lovely to have my council tax once some. Oh, yes, that would indeed. But I don't even think about it because it doesn't happen. Anyhow, what we're going to do tonight, while I keep rabbiting on, actually, as I've just looked at, I've got some parts of what we're going to make. So it is going to be a little tub. Hello, Mavis. But here is a part of it, okay, which will make a super, I'll put my water thing here, a super coaster for your mugs. But it is going to make us a storage tub. And I have got, yes, I imagine it is, Catherine. I am using some Decovil. Decovil, it was you. I can't remember what it was for though, Kirsty. I thought it might have been. So what we're going to make, as I said, is a storage tub. When I have made something similar before, and it was on probably the craft store at the time, it was when I had my circular rulers. So I have used my circular ruler, and the circular rulers, if you don't have, I have sold all of the large ones. Let me just have a look. I'm just having a look to see what the diameter, 12. It's about an 8-inch, it's just under an 8-inch diameter circle that I've used. And I used it as a raw edged. I made this with raw edge to go with charm squares. So the circle, let me see, I have a circle here. Let me tell you what, that's a handful of circles. So my circle with the raw edges, you could place a charm square, a 5-inch square in the centre and be able to turn over all the sides in like that, all the way around, to be able to get something like that. Now, I did put wadding in them. I think at the time it may have been Thermolam. Hello, Christine, don't worry. But what I'm going to do tonight is I'm not going to have raw edges. I'm going to have neatened edges. I haven't got one made because we're going to make one. But you can see along there, they are nice, neat edges because I've used 2 pieces of fabric and stitched them together, turned them to the right side, and then I have brought them over so there's no raw edges here, but just stitched it down. And what I thought, rather than wadding, let's see what we could do with some Decovil, because it's a very underused product, but it is really, really good to use. So I have got a couple. I was going to use Decovil Light, which a lot of you buy this. So let me just see if you are able to see. It is fusible on one side, so that is smooth. It feels like a plasticky smooth. So that's where your dry adhesive is. And on the other side, it's a textured, it's almost like interfacing really, that sort of texture. And then, can you see the colour is slightly different? This is Decovil 1, which is the original Decovil. And let me turn it sideways. But they are, you see the Decovil 1 is much thicker. So it is a heavier weight. Can you see that bend as opposed to that is more flimsy? But the Decovil Light gives you a good firm surface and is good for bag making. Not that I've put it in many bags of late, but that gives a good fine surface to your bag. And this one would be good for bag bases or anything else that needs. I'm going to do an iron holder at some point, of which I will use. Oh, hello, Sharon. Don't worry. Who else is a bit late? Didn't miss that. Oh, that's all right. That's all right. Oh, there's Sue. Hello, Sue. And this one is the original Decovil. But you can see there it's probably a couple of millimetres thick, whereas that's only one. It's quite, it's quite hard to compare, but it is thicker. Hello, Elaine. So I have used this one, and also, oh, you can see that glistening there. So again, the Decovil itself has a fusible side, and it's easier to see that. You can see that shiny. So that's the dry adhesive, and the other side is textured. It's almost leathery, but it's got a fabric. It doesn't feel like leather. It's just that sort of thickness of lightweight leather. Oh, hello, Isabel. So, Isabel, you have a parcel's gone out today. So what you're going to need is 5 pieces of Decovil. Now, because I am not doing raw edge, because I am doing neatened edges, my square of Decovil is going to be 4.5 inches square. If you're using fabric, you can still do it raw edge if you want to. If you're just using the ruler, the circular ruler, and putting your charm square in the centre, then you can do 5 inches. So I'd have a 5-inch square of my Decovil and a 5-inch charm as well. Now, I just got some fabric that sort of went with the flowery one that I got here to be able to do this. So the other thing with your Decovils is I don't use steam, I just use heat. And what you should do, you should always leave it set aside for at least half an hour. So it's one of those things that you should wait until the adhesive is fully dried and cool for it to adhere absolutely properly. But I know we all like to just do it there and then, don't we? So I have actually got, no, I haven't got one made, so we will be doing it a little bit quicker than we should. Okay, so I have got, let me have a look what I've got here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So as I say, to make this tub, I'm just going to use 5 of these squares. And I'm just going to show you with a few little tips how we're going to put it together. Okay, let's just put that there. Put my Decovil there. And that's the one I have already. And oops, not that one. Pop that out of the way. So we have. So this is just because my circle included part of the selvage. Yes, Decovil 1, or the original, is the thickest one. Decovil Light is the thinner one. So I've got my 2 circles, and I'm going to put them right sides together. So all I would say, if you are using any other size circle, absolutely fine. But what you just have to do is just work out what size square you need to pop in the centre for it to all fold in. But that can be easily done with a piece of paper. cut a square and sit it on when you've got your circle ready. Sit it on there and see if it needs to be a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller. And then you can find the absolute size you need and be able to cut your fabric or your Decovil to use. So let's go down to the machine. Just pop that out of the way. And let's see. I still can't get the Facebook to turn this to the correct way. But what do you do? What do you do? Right, so this is, I know some people stitching around curved edges or circles, it's their worst nightmare. So I'm going to show you some of the little tips that I would do to get a nice smooth curved edge when we've stitched it together. Let's pop it that way. And so the first thing I think about is having a small stitch. So let's go to our patchwork thinking, and we'll have it at a stitch length of 1.8, so 2 or less. And that way we're going to have lots of small stitches around here, which when we turn it to the right side, it is going to give us a nice smooth edge. So as I say, 1/4 inch seam allowance. Now I'm going to put the edge, so I'm just using a standard foot, and I'm just putting the edge of the foot to the edge, there we are, to the edge of the fabric. And what I'm going to be looking at is that I'm obviously sewing in a straight line. Oh, thank you, Sue. I've noticed other people, it's the wrong way round, but then sometimes they've always done it the wrong way round anyway. But so if John Scott's noticed and he can't, yeah, I have reported it, but I've heard nothing back from Facebook. You know, what do? You just crack on. Anyhow, 1.8 stitch length. The side of my foot is on the edge here. So you can go fairly slowly, just so that, and what I'm doing, I'm turning the edge of the circle so that it's going underneath, so just a regular sweep, and I'm just turning that, watching the edge of my foot here, lining up, so I'm turning a little bit too fast there, that's it, lining up all the time, because if you can see more fabric at times than others, then you're going to get a wavy edge. So with my left hand, I'm just sort of turning it a little bit, but I'm just going around and around until we get back to the beginning. So you may be thinking, well, how are you going to turn that to the right side if you are going the whole way round? Well, if you watched our little hexagon placemat runner that we did the other night, you will probably guess exactly what we are going to do. Okay, so I've just got round to back to the beginning, and I just stitched over those the first few stitches that I did. So there is my thread. So I've gone all the way around. Now also, another little tip you can clip into the edge all the way around here, clip in up to the stitching, or you could use pinking shears to go all the way around, trim all the way around, or just trim it back to 1/8 of an inch. So I'm just taking about half of this away, like that, all the way around. Now I'm not going to do that because I have got one which I have already trimmed all the way around. Okay, so there's my circle. I've trimmed, you can see that seam allowance there. It's about 1/8 of an inch around there. Now what we need to do now is turn it to the right side. So what you need to think is, what colour are you going to see folded over? And because we're going, whichever colour we're going to see folded over is the one you don't want to cut into. So we are going to, that's my outer fabric. I'm going to clip into the other side. So what we're going to do, if I put a ruler, just so that you could let's put this ruler here. If you imagine, there's my bit of Decovil. When we fold this back, you need to clip, we're going to make a little slit, we need to do it in this area here. So between the outside stitching and our Decovil, because when we have that slit, it's going to be hidden when we turn it over. So I can see that. So it's about there. If you want to put a little mark, you can. So you don't want it to come too close to the edge stitching here, but about a couple of inches will be absolutely ample to be able to do that. So you can either, which I do, just push the two bits apart, and then you can use your seam ripper very carefully and just pop that in. Make sure it's not going through the other side. So this is the side that we don't want to be, there we go. We don't want this to be, just making sure. It's easier if I do it down here and then I won't, that's it. So just clip that along there. So we've made a little hole, and then all we're going to do is push the fabric to the right side, like so. Nice and easy. And if you can get your finger in there, just roll your finger around those outer seams just to push that out. And because we trimmed it back to 1/8 of an inch, you can see already I'm getting a nice curve around there as well. So when it comes to this little bit where we did the slit, we can do that as well. And if you want to put anything like a corner poker, you know, just pop that in there, knitting needle. There we are. So you can see already that looks nice and smooth. So we are going to press it though. So let's just pop the iron on and just take this over to the ironing board. There we are. And you can just roll your fingers onto the edges here to make them, just to make sure that that's all pushed out completely. And if we go around these other edges and wait until we can do the piece with the opening, the slit there. So there is my slit. So just pull those edges, just roll them in between your fingers, and then where that slit is there, press, turn to the other side, like so. So there we have a pretty good circle. You can see that looks like a really nice circle. So we're going to turn it to the side where that slit is there, and we're going to take our Decovil and put the fusible side down, and the only thing we need to look out for is where this slit is, it needs to be along one edge. There is no point in having your square here. Oh, well, actually it wouldn't, yeah, no, it would actually cover it when it's folded over, but it's much easier to look for that slit and have it parallel with one of the edges. So I'm just going to lay that down. So I've put that, it just comes, doesn't quite touch these corner points here, but I'm going to lay that down on the center. Make sure your fusible side is down onto the underside, and I'm just going to iron over there. So just go over that just a few times, and you'll see it starts to melt. Okay, so once it has started to melt, I can then flip it over and I'll iron from the other side. So I'm just going to go round and round. Oh, hello, Yvonne. Don't worry. There we go. So we just go round and round. As I say, for about, I was going to say 10 minutes. No, not quite 10 minutes. We'll do it for, that's it. We'll do it for 10 seconds or so, but you should do it for a good 10 to 15 seconds. So, and we should also, now that feels quite hot now, but I'm going to, and this should be set aside for probably half an hour because it is going to take a while to cool down. So I'm just going to waft it about a bit. But as you can imagine, if you were doing something that meant that this could move, you know, it could, because the adhesive will still be a little bit sticky, melted. It's only when it actually cools down that it is permanently adhered to the fabric that it's ironed onto. So it is cooling down a little bit now. So do it around like this. Hi, Nikki. There we go. Okay. Right. So let's go back to the machine and pop that down there. And now, so we'll put that on there. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's all right. So all we're going to do now is fold these pieces over. So you could actually press, I could actually press that and then press that edge and press that as well. But do you know, the Decovil itself is so, it's like cardstock actually. So you can, you see I'm pulling that back and it's not folding it at all. That's pulling beautifully against the edge. And what you can actually do is just fold it as you go around. If you want to put clips on here, and you can see how nicely that goes down to that point there. Let's just put, so that all that neatly fits down there, and it will do all the way around, as long as you get this square of Decovil central on your circle. If you find that it's a little bit too big, just trim it down. It won't matter as long as it's still a square. So with a square, if you just trim 2 adjacent sides, you'll still have your square. I wouldn't trim one side off because then you haven't got a square, and so the next part may not work for you. So pull that edge over, and the idea now is to make a nice, I'm going to do a nice straight stitch all the way around here. No, we don't want to see that. What we want on here, we want a piece of fabric, don't we? So I did think about having, you could put a layer of thermolam or wadding onto here if you want to make it fluffier. But I thought for a change, I wanted to make it nice and flat and rigid. So I'm just going to lay a piece of fabric, the same size, 4.5 inches square, onto my Decovil. And then I'm going to push that over on the top. Now, it's not, it clings to the Decovil itself quite well, so it's not doing any harm. If you wanted to put a bit of fabric glue underneath just to hold it, you'll find it difficult to put pins in there, so I wouldn't attempt that. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, as I say, I'm going to do a straight stitch just inside the edge of this circle here. But if you wanted to do a decorative stitch, it would also look really nice to do that. So entirely up to you, or a zigzag stitch, whatever you feel comfortable with. So another little tip that I would say, a trick that I would do to get that nice and level stitching, all the way continuous stitching, I move my needle, if you can with your machine, move your needle as far as it will go to the left hand side, which for me means to change it down. You can see that moving to 0. And then I can line up the inside of the foot here. There's a little gap here, which is where I pull the thread through. I'm lining that with the edge of my arc, this curve here. And then it gives me a stitch that is just on, so let's take that back there. It's just on the fabric that we have folded back. So we will just, no, I am going to go back to my 2.5 length stitch as well. I don't want tiny stitches around there particularly. So again, I'm watching the edge of the foot and bringing that round, and I'm just holding my finger down on this curve. And then when I get to almost the end, I can then push the next curve up to it. And you'll be able to see that that is coming together really nicely. Now, if you want to use seam ripper, just to hold that down, or an awl or a stiletto. So just to hold that down going into that corner, and those two corner points are going to line up nicely. So go to close to the edge, and then I'm going to do 2 stitches just across. I'm not going straight into, so 1, 2, in, so I'm now into that next arc. So turn it round again. Oops, there we are. So I'm turning that round again, lining it up with the edge of the arc, and I'm pulling that against my edge of the Decovil, and that really is holding beautifully firmly. Okay, so I'm nearly at the edge here, so I'm going to push this one up, and again, that is meeting at this point really, really nicely. So I've got the seam ripper there just holding that down, and round we go to that end. And when I get near the end, so almost a 90-degree turn, and so I'm just stitching over and into the next curve, and we'll start our way around the next one. So the thing I was saying, if you want to do these as just a one-off, you've got a nice coaster, nice flat, heavy-duty coaster. So I just pulled that one up again. Let's just hold that down with my seam ripper down to near the end. Oh, it was a little bit too far. So go back one there, so that we can do one stitch across that corner, and then a second one which goes in to hold the edge of our curve down. So again, and I'm just holding this one down at this end. Around we go, right down to that end. And again, I'm just going to, just a bit as a double check, I'm just going to do 2 stitches across there, and I'll do 1 back up. So that's 2 on top of it, 2 bits on top of each other, just for security. So we will just clip off that thread, and then that keeps that quite neat and inside edge of our tub. So we have our what could be coaster finished, or we have our oh, hello Christine, don't worry. So let's just take this out just a little bit, because we need to have 5 of these made. So I have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I have got directional fabric, so if that worries you, just make sure my birds are flying in the right direction. Now, what I would do is, well, what you can do, yes, I would perhaps do it like this. For making your box, we can, let's just take that away. Don't need those there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need 4 for the sides. Oh, for goodness sake. 4 for the sides. So if you were making a little tub out of 1 fabric, you would perhaps do it like that anyway. You would have 5 squares like that, all in 1 piece of fabric. But what we're going to do is sew them all together by hand now. You could attempt, if you want to sew them. Let's move that away there. You could sew them in a length. So you could stitch down here by machine, and down here, and so that then it would all fold up together like so. But it's difficult to get that final edge stitched together. So in my mind, I prefer to do it all one way. You could zigzag down here. Sorry, if you're doing it all in one length, and then that very last one, last joining piece, would need to be hand stitched anyway. So what we're going to do, so we could still do exactly the same as stitch down here by hand so they're all together, and then have, say, this one here to sew on, and then that is going to flip up as the base, or what looks more normal, if you like, is to have it in a square like this. This is going to be my outer edge, and I am going to stitch around, I'm going to stitch these individually onto, I can stitch from the front or from the back. I might do from the reverse. So I'm going to pop those together so they are right sides together. And that is going to be on the outside eventually. So let's just lay those together, looking for those birds. Oh, they're going in different directions, actually. That's it. Let's have them going around. So all I'm going to do is a whip stitch or over stitch. So let's see. And because we're just going into fabric, we're just taking the edge, the edge of our fabric here. So I'm just going to, it'd probably be better to use a double layer or double thread or a heavier weight thread to do this, but it'll be quite a nice little project to just sit, like for those of you that like doing your hand binding around a quilt. This is quite pleasurable, doing a little bit of hand stitching. And as I say again, because we're just taking the edge of the fabric, it's quite easy to stitch through. So what I'm hoping I'll be able to do is get all 4 stitched around that centre one, and then you'll get the idea and know exactly how to finish it off. Now I haven't done a PDF for this. You can see how that fits really nicely, but I will do a hand one early tomorrow morning, because I might actually leave that in the group a little bit longer because we've only got the one day, haven't we? Oh, and also tomorrow night's one, but then we'll just leave the video. It's more a visual thing of how to use the Clover Tube Maker, and we'll talk about lots of ideas of doing that tomorrow evening. Okay. So I think I have got a few left. I have probably got 3 left of the Clover Tube Makers if anybody wanted one. And they are, whoops, there, that's where one should use doubled up or thicker thread. See, I've done just what I say one thing, do another, because at the minute I'm just using my Orifil 50 weight, which is probably not strong enough as I'm going through all of these layers. Now I should want to, let's just hide that knot in there. Actually, I'm going the wrong way now, aren't I? Or let's just go this way. There we go. So I'm actually now stitching from the left to the right. No, from the right to the left. But note to self, use a stronger thread and or double your thread, or you won't even get down one side, which is only about 5 inches long. So a little bit, I'm going to need another layer of thread. So a little bit like patchwork as well. Once we've stitched down that side, I will put that back. Oh, there we go. So that will go back where it came from. And now I can put that side up and we'll carry along here. So just put my needle in there and we'll carry on along here. So I am going to change my thread. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run my needle along there. And can you see how I've done it about 1 inch along and pull that out, and then no not showing or anything like that. I wonder if I have got a thicker thread in here. I could very well, but then let's see, no, not that one. Bother. I thought I might have a bit of I've only got red, haven't I? Oh, now what one is that? That one is 40 thicker. Let's see if we can, we won't be able to thread that now there. Okay, so let us just, yep, no, plus I won't do that. We'll use doubled up thread. So without dropping it, as I usually do, let's just have a longer length. I wouldn't always have anything much longer than 12 inches or so of thread, of needle and thread, because it also knots if you're not careful, if you've got too long a thread. So let's just get ourselves a little knot in the end there and pull that through. So I've got my thread again now. So we'll go back to where, so I'm going to come up, no, I'm not, I'm going to do it from here, because this is going to be the inside. And, oops, there's a bit, there we go. So I'm just going to carry on just along here, just, there we go. Anyway, my intention is to get 4 of these stitched together around the centre square. And I am having this, so I'm putting right sides together. I'm having my arcs on the outside, but you could, if your hand stitching is really neat, you could stitch so that wrong sides are together. So you see you're stitching down these seams. It can look very nice. You may want to have a colour showing, so you could have it so it's the bold stitching down the edges is actually accentuates the seams. I think that can always look nice too. So as you see, the double thread is a lot stronger. The other thing you can use is the Orifil floss, or you could use the Cotton Brode, the Anchor or the DMC one. And I'm doing there is untwisting, because as you do so much over stitching like this, thread does tend to twist a little, but it's really quite a nice, easy stitch there. And I'm using a coordinating colour, which is why you won't be able to see it that well. Okay, so I've done that one. So let's just put that back to where it came from, which was there. And then the next one is here, over onto there. So we can just pick that one up now. And you see how they fit together beautifully, which is what we want them to do. So we can just carry on stitching along this edge as well. Okay. So let's just put some of that set. So holding those two together, and if you've never done, you can either call this whip stitching or over stitching, over casting, but it's just an easy, feeling warm now, nice and easy, gentle stitching, and you won't see much at all from the other side when we open it out. And then you'll be able to, when we've got the 4 around the bottom, just sew up the side seams one at a time to form your box. What are together so that you see get the gist of what it's going to look like, but I'm sure you do already. Oof, why can't I stitch through there? There we go. The other thing, if you want it to have a little flap, you could do that. Oh, I think, what have I got there? Oh, that's where I changed my mind as to what I wanted to, let's go here, where which fabric I had coming over the top. So I used some fabric glue to the raw edges on my slit. I used a bit of fabric glue and it's obviously stopped me being able to stitch into the side there. Okay, so I've come along that side. So again, let's just put that back to where it came from. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the last one here, which needs to go right sides together as well, is pop down there. And then we're just going to carry on stitching along this side too. So I will need to thread up again. But as I was saying, the 12-inch, oh no, that's just red right now because that's broken off. So let's just get a little bit more, thread that up. Okay, because it's the last side we're on until we line up the sides of our box, our tub. Ooh, just get in there. Right. Okay. So down to the end. Don't know how you make your knots in your thread, but I just grab the ends together, pop them between my finger and my thumb, wrap it round, then roll my thumb down and pull it back. And there is my knot in the end. I'm just going to trim that bit off so that doesn't, those little tails. And then we'll just carry on along this edge. So again, I'll use those knots on that end. I will sew that in afterwards. Let's just keep that out of the way. As I say, we're just doing this overstitch. So when we come to the end of this one, we can actually carry on up one of the sides, because the idea when you're doing something like this is to keep your or your seams as continuous, the thread as continuous as you can, so that you have less knots, starts and stops along the way. And a little bit like, as I say, when you're free motion quilting or even your straight stitch quilting, if you can go round or across diagonals and do it continuous, so unless you're stopping right on the very edges, it's good to be able to stitch continuously for as long as you can. And the same with this. So when we get to this corner, we can go up. There we go. So we are nearly there. So just through these edges. And you can see that hasn't taken me long to be able to do that. And we're up to that corner now. So we've got our 4 pieces all together. So we can flip those over and you can see all of those. And then this time, so we're going to flip it the right way. This time you will need to sew from the outer edge. So you can see that coming together there. But what I would do here, I would use ladder stitch. So what you can do is you do a little stitch along that seam on one side or one fold, and then you take a little stitch on the opposite edge. Okay. And then I'm going to just form this little ladder. I'm going to take a stitch along that other side there, and I'll show you the ladder as it progresses, and then back to the opposite side. And can you see, whoops, let's just do that like that. Can you see that ladder forming in there? So I'm on this side, so I'm going to go to the opposite side, and your stitch is probably between 1/8 and 1/4 inch. You don't want it too long, but we're just going from one side to the other. Okay, so I'll just show you here, and then, so there we are. You can see how down here you've got those, and then what you do is just pull that up, and you can't see where that stitching is. So that is what we would do, and we would carry on up to this top edge here. Where is my... Oh, there we go. So I can just pop that. So that side is going to come up there. That side is going to come up there. Whoops. I might even just be able to, let's see if we can put a pin. So this side is coming, just putting a pin to just hold those together. And this one just here. So I'm just pinning those. But that then is what we are going to, we've made our tub. As I say, if you wanted to make one more and have a flap coming over here, absolutely fine. But I will finish that off later. But you see how we can do that, and even the bottom. And the thing with this is it's beautifully rigid. There's a bit of softness to it, but and it could sit on a dressing table with makeup brushes, etc. Okay, so that is us practically done. Oh, what have I missed there? Had a sad day. Oh, okay, Karen. Big hugs to you, as Jack said as well. If you wanted to make a lid for it, how much bigger would you make the square? I would do the lid exactly the same. I would just have a lid that flaps so you can get away with exactly the same size. Or did you mean a lid that fits over the top? Is that what you meant? Because I was talking about was having a flap. So let's imagine that is a flap so that it sits on. This would be exactly the same size if you wanted to do that. As for, yes, if you were making a fitted lid, that's a job for another day, because yes, it would need to be slightly bigger, but you want it to also be snug. So off the top of my head, I'm not going to say, oh, you need to make it such and such and such and such, but you also need some strips to go along the sides as well. Yeah, so that's what you would, yeah. So that's something for another day. Unfortunately, my little brain can't work out how many eighths of an inch and that, just like that, but I'm sure you will understand. But there we are. So that's our little tub made with Decovil. And as you can see, rather than being soft and can easily flatten, this is nice and sturdy. It may even, I don't know, you might even get a box of the boutique boxes of tissues that might sit in there. You don't know. Anyhow, did I miss anything on the way? Nice and easy though. Or was it Joanne's birthday as well? Okay, Joanne, that's fine. Gutter Man do a nice strong... Oh, good. Gutter Man. Yes, they do. They do indeed. Okay, Patsy. Right. I am going to... Yes, I know lots of you don't enjoy hand stitching, but I know lots of you do. So it's a little bit of both. With the hand stitching there, but I thoroughly enjoyed making it too, and it's something using a similar method but something slightly different. Yes, Easter box, fantastic. I haven't got any Easter fabrics, I'm afraid, and I've not got any coming in, so if you can find some somewhere else, it would make a lovely little Easter box. Okay, chocolate orange, oh yes, Martin likes those but not me. But I'm sure there's lots of people that do. Or quite a few Cadbury's cream eggs would fit in there too. Anyhow, okay, thank you so much for joining me tonight. I am going to go and have my evening meal and sit and watch a bit of telly, I think, and think about tomorrow's escapades. So I shall be getting ready for tomorrow night, and we're using the Clover Tube Maker. So, as I say, thank you very much for joining me tonight. I've thoroughly enjoyed your company. If you want to like and share the video once it's there, once it's posted so that everybody can see it, that would be much appreciated. So take care of yourselves and hopefully see you tomorrow, 6:30 here on the So Totally Trisha page. So bye for now.